Hello again, it's Penny, back for another rant. Not going to bother with listing my porn name at this point because I've gotten that point out of the way. We've moved on, we're past that, so. What am I going... I was going to talk about something specific. Oh, yeah, well. My brain blanks. See, I have brain damage because, well, obviously, I'm not exactly inside society's norms, and that has gotten me in trouble a few times. I have brain damage because 15 years ago now, well, almost 15, happened... Yeah, it'll be 15 years in a couple of weeks as I'm recording this. I was walking around Surrey Central SkyTrain with the girl that I was with at the time, and she went off, and I was still kind of newly out. I'd only been out as a woman for 4 years at that point, and I was still learning. I didn't really have anybody to teach me girl stuff. My clothes were mismatched, my makeup was horrible, my hair was short at the time. Despite the fact that I've had these, I grew these at puberty, these are real. Despite the fact that I had these, I still looked a lot more like a guy in a dress than I do now. And my voice was a lot worse. I know my voice isn't perfect. I sound like a valley girl sucking helium, I know this. But my voice was much worse then. It was more like, hi, I'm a girl. And it was just not pleasant. And I was a lot more easily readable. And a bunch of teenagers took offense to what they thought was a guy wearing women's clothes and kissing a woman goodbye, and they chased me into an alley, and while screaming, "You stupid, fat, fucking, ugly tranny freak," and various similar epithets, they beat me into unconsciousness. I woke up a few days later in hospital. I had been comatose for that period. Go away, Pest. My eldest cat loves to try and interrupt me while I'm doing my rants, but I can't be bothered to start this one over. Anyway, they beat me pretty bad. I had serious brain injury and resulted in permanent brain damage ever since I've had problems with memory. I remember everything, I just can't access it all right away. If I run into somebody that I know and I can't remember them, I need them to say, "Oh, well, we met here and we did this," and then it's like a kickstart. My brain's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I remember now." And it's really a pain in the ass. My short-term memory is shit. And they beat me so bad that when the paramedics found me, my left eye was actually hanging out of the socket and I almost lost it. Because that's the world we live in, sadly. People spread hate. They fear what they don't understand and they spread hate. Ignorant, arrogant, evil, selfish, self-centered people like Peter LaBarbera, Matt Barber, Linda Harvey, Tony Perkins, Peter Sprague, Scott Lively, all these anti-gay crusaders who are now becoming anti-trans crusaders because they've realized that they're starting to lose the war against gay people because everybody knows a gay person now. Everybody has a gay friend or a lesbian friend, and they're not a big boogeyman anymore. It's like, the more they hang out with them, they're like, "Oh, okay, I know this person. No, they're not as bad as you're saying. That's bull." And it's slowly turning the tide, at least on this side of the Atlantic. God knows what's happening in Russia right now, and it's not good. It's not nice. But because they realize they're losing the battle to make people hate gay people, they're turning their focus on trans people. Not that we ever had it really easy. There's a whole rants I can get on about rad femmes and anti-gay groups and all the shit they cause trans people. And even though I'm technically not trans, I'm intersexed, I didn't know that I was intersexed until I turned 21. No, I'm an idiot. 21 is when I came out as trans and started living as a woman. It was when I was 26, and I'd gotten my approval letters for surgery, and I was going through some tests. That's when I found out I was intersexed. Yeah, I See, this is what I was talking about with memory. Anyway. But until I found out I was intersexed, which I really should have suspected, do you know I was actually stupid enough to believe that when these started growing in at puberty, it happened because I had willed it to happen? I knew I was a girl. I wanted to be a girl so bad. Oh, I'm growing breasts. I made that happen with my mind. Yeah, I know, I just did an accidental Cisco impression. Just kill me now. 500 bonus points if you get the reference. Anyway. Best Star Trek episode ever. Anyway. Because I grew up thinking I was trans. I mean, I found out what a transsexual was when I was 7, and my parents were watching some ABC or 2020 or something like that documentary about a trans woman going through her surgery and whatnot. And that was when I first realized what I was, or what I thought I was, and I studied everything I could about trans people. Never thought I was intersex because the only information about intersex people at the time was hermaphrodite, and I knew I wasn't one of those, or at least I thought so, based on what it appeared to have. But I thought I was trans for a long time. I lived as a trans woman, so even though I know I'm intersex now, I still identify as trans because that was a large part of my life and my identity and my history, and it's too important to me to just throw it away and go, oh, I'm intersex now. Well, I guess I was never trans then, because that would be akin to, I don't know. It just feels like it would be stupid to me. I'd have no idea if I'm making any sense at all, but that's just how it is. But I've completely forgotten the point of all this, but it goes back to the memory issue, so I will try to have something more coherent for the next rant. I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm doing these all in one go because it's just so much of a pain in the ass to doll myself up. So I'm going to do them all in one go, but I will take a 5-minute break before I start recording the next one and try to have something a little more coherent. Toodle pip.